whole of the conference. The rest of the conference are all together. All right. Okay, thank you very much. Now, the next item on the agenda is the elected member appointments to external bodies. Now, I think we've got agreement on most of them. I think there's a contested vote on some. Right. Okay, so notes that appointments will be made to the sister city committees. As I said, that's something that doesn't get signed off by council. And I want to, number 3, appoint Councillor Scandrett as a trustee of the Christchurch Stadium Trust. There was another expression of interest, and if council wants to put that to a vote, I can't stop that from occurring, but I'll just sort of kind of look this way and say that's not necessary, and we will just. I had a question on that. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm just concerned. Like at Finance Committee yesterday, we had a bit of an unusual situation where the chair and the deputy were part of something, and in regards to Stadium Trust, and what we also learnt about VBase was around quite a high level.
Clarify that.
Financial. Sorry.
Okay. You said the chair and deputy chair were part of something.
Oh, the Transitional Holdings Board at the committee. So we were discussing the statement of intent. Yeah. So just this whole idea of conflicts, and particularly with VBase and the Stadium Trust, so it's nothing around the individual. It's just around that relationship of having someone who's on VBase also on the Stadium Trust, given the contractual arrangements between the two. And that does make me feel a little bit uneasy, given that it is quite a significant financial relationship.
That is true, and this has really been more in relation to the to the work that the Christchurch Stadium Trust will be asked to do.
Also, VBase is currently part of our family in the sense it's almost an internal organisation at the moment.
Yeah.
As opposed to an external organisation.
But it does have a contract with.
It does.
The trust.
Well, in that case, is it better to have that a face on there? I mean, that's the thing. I mean, would that be a positive rather than a negative?
Councillor on it, but I think we do need to just think about how that would look. And I don't know whether we've got to the other VBase appointments as well, because my understanding was we had other people coming on VBase. And I don't know.
Yeah, it's going through a process. Yeah.
But the point is not to have just a councillor. There is a reason for that councillor with some kind of expertise.
With Paul Monroe.
Well, do you want to put it to a vote? I mean, someone else put it.
No, it's not a question of putting it to a vote. Yanni's raised a question that nobody's raised with me before.
Yanni's raised it in the context of a perception. I mean, I don't doubt that Tim would be perfectly capable if there were issues that were discussed at the Stadium Trust that were directly related to VBase.
Yeah, he'd have to stand aside.
Yeah. There's a clear conflict.
No.
So, I mean, the reality is it would work, but is the issue a perception issue?
Yeah, I think so. But you accept that you would not be able to enter into any discussions or be privy to any discussions at the Trust in relation to the VBase contract. Right.
The problem, just...
Ian, is that?
Thinking about that, there is quite a close relationship, isn't there, between VBase and the Trust? Does VBase operate the stadium? I'm not sure.
Yes, they do.
Well, I think your comment about there being a perception of bias is quite relevant. Well, I think there's a conflict between the interests of VBase and the interests of the Trust that could get in the way of good decision making.
Could you just appoint Tim as our representative on, I don't know, some working group that the Trust puts together for the stadium work? Does he have to be on the trust itself?
Yeah.
That was discussed.
Oh, was it?
Oh,
You're not going on the trust for the stadium trust, but it's for the
No.
work on the...
because the Stadium Trust has a specific task, which that would fall, the adults, so the discussion or the thoughts were, and it's totally up to them, that's whether they have a working party, that they have a separate working party that answers to the trust.
And I guess
that would make more sense, but, you know.
We haven't even made a decision on who's going to...
Yeah, that's not the point.
So we actually don't know.
Yeah.
We haven't agreed as council who's going to do the stuff around the stadium. I mean,
Hey?
we haven't actually had that discussion as a council around how we're doing the business case with the stadium, the new stadium,
No.
multi-purpose arena. So, you know, so until that time, it's a bit hard to, I personally think to, and it's no disrespect to Tim, it's just, it only occurred to me yesterday when that was quite an awkward situation around statement of intents, you know, people having to leave, it just, and given what we heard yesterday around V-Base and the Stadium Trust relationship, being such a significant relationship, I just had concern about it.
I always thought it was more the understanding at the declaration and that it didn't necessarily rule you out taking part. It's more that awareness and just declaring that at the front.
The question though is do we want someone who doesn't have to declare a conflict, who can actually take part in that decision making?
Yeah, it isn't decision making. That they're not going on there for the purposes of the
But they will be making
running of
some
the stadium.
yeah.
But we do want those interests represented.
But do we want to hold off on this?
Yeah, we'll put it off.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. If people, you know, have issues around these things, it's just really helpful to let me know earlier, because I mean it's just a complete oversight.
It just came out yesterday.
Yeah, I know, but that was yesterday, and
Well,
it would have really helped if I'd known yesterday, or even today. That's fine. Now, only two members have put an interest forward for the Creative Communities Assessment Committee, and they are councillors Galloway and Templeton. So, thank you. Recommendations 10 and 11, that's are the three councillors to the Canterbury Regional Landfill Joint Committee and the Canterbury Waste Joint Committee. But is it the Canterbury Regional Landfill Joint Committee that appoints councillors to a councillor to the Canterbury Waste Joint Committee, or is it
The three council reps from Christchurch City.
Yep.
Sorry, I've cut myself off.
Is the one that you appoint three members to it, and those three members and the other four territorial authority members elect the chair.
It's Christchurch City's role to determine the chair prior to that.
The chair has to be a Christchurch City Council elected member.
Yep.
And the deputy chair has to represent the LTA.
Right.
But do all 7 people vote?
Sorry?
Do all 7 people vote?
Who will vote? The 7 members of the committee.
Yeah, that was.
But they can only vote for Christchurch for the chair, and the other councils for deputy.
It's the way it was set up and structured up by Dennis O'Rourke when it was first put together. So the Christchurch City component has the controlling share of the 50% share.
Yeah.
Overall.
Does that mean, though, that if the Christchurch people weren't united in their view, obviously if one Christchurch person had the support of the others, we could end up with an outcome that may not be the majority view of the 3 Christchurch people?
Is that right, or do they all get a vote?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, well, we've got 4 people interested for 3 positions. So I'm not sure, how do we run a vote when you've got 4 names for 3 positions?
Just put it to the vote. Those who are, each candidate who is standing won't obviously be able to vote for him or herself, but you can vote for the others. You just put them to the vote, put the names. I presume you've got the names, haven't you?
Yeah, I've got 4 names.
Right.
So I've got Councillor Davidson, Cotter, East and Livingston, and Cotter, Easton, Livingston are the current members of the committee from last term. Davidson, Cotter, Easton, Livingston. So the same ones plus Councillor Davidson.
Can I just point out that we are in public still?
Yes, I know.
Okay.
Can I make this easier by moving something?
Yep.
So I'll move Cotter, Livingstone and Davidson, just to keep things moving.
Do I have a seconder for that? Anne? Yeah.
Can the existing people vote in that?
Yeah.
Those three nominated shouldn't vote.
Do we go STV or?
Yeah, David.
I'm a little miffed about this process, really. I think we are assessing appointments to a joint committee, and we're looking at a process that should focus on the experience and of the persons seeking to get on that committee. And I get the distinct opinion that this is an opportunity to censure me for my position on director's fees, and hence I'm being shut out of it. I would really just like to point out that I have followed completely a resolution that was passed, and this council has had the opportunity to address that situation at any stage in the last 3 years, and haven't had the wherewithal to do so. This situation is supposedly being resolved at the end of May, and I have absolutely no compunction in saying that whatever that resolution is, I will abide by it. I've chaired these committees for the last 3 years. I've developed a very knowledgeable and conversant range of skills around Cape Valley and the Burwood landfill, and the Burwood landfill is in my area, and I've done a huge amount of work with that. I see quite a real need for continuity of experience in this area, and I just reiterate that we are here today to appoint capable and experienced people to lead. I believe our office has these capabilities, and I'm just a little miffed that it appears to me this is an opportunity to censure me. And having just dealt with the code of conduct, I believe I've probably got rid of this case here now for a complaint under the code of conduct.
Okay, look, I'm not going to have this debated right now, and I do apologise to you, David. That wasn't appropriate in the way that I've handled this, so I'll just accept that, and I do apologise. I will come back to this later in the afternoon, that this particular item, after we've completed the rest of the agenda. I'd like to get the rest of the resolutions resolved, but this one, can we just defer this decision till later in the afternoon? And
because I don't want us to have a bun fight over something like that.
No.
Can I just comment? I just want to apologise too, because I seconded Andrew's motion in the interest of time. So it's like what we were dealing with, and there was no hidden agenda.
Yeah.
So it'd be good to get this clarified whether we're doing this in PX or in public, because other.
No, we're going to have a vote in public, but I would like to take some time, given the sensitivities of the situation, just to reflect on what's been said.
Can I just a process question in terms of that? I mean, that is quite different to how we've done it for other council companies where we've appointed people. So just because it's a committee, is it? Is that basically the difference? So
all I'm saying is that I'm just a little bit concerned about how I've allowed a sitting member of this council to feel, and I'm feeling very concerned about that, and I would like to take some time to reflect on that, and I would like to deal with this issue later in the afternoon. So if we could just leave that matter till later on. And there's one other, Councillor Livingston to the Ngāhau Whā we've got. Is there any other? We've got all of the other names written up. Oh, now we've got amends the membership of the District Plan Review Subcommittee as necessary. I think that is simply delegating to the District Plan Review Subcommittee the ability to co-opt other members as voting members.
Through you, I believe it's just appointing, and the council resolutions required is to appoint another member or other members if he's interested, so it's just amend the membership to include.
Okay, so what we wanted to do was to let the new councillors have the once in a lifetime opportunity to join the District Plan Review Subcommittee, which meets not every week, but it's in the diary every week for a Friday usually, and it's to update as we go through the final stages of the district plan. So Sarah Templeton's already indicated that she would like to be included on that committee.
I'll probably be good to actually understand it, so
you would like to go on it as well? And you would as well? Wow. What does that make the quorum though? Because I mean, seriously, you have to commit to it. So.
Because it's a subcommittee, the quorum is 2.
Oh, that's all right. That's okay. The subcommittee's 2. So right. Okay. So I will move that Sarah Templeton, Mike Davidson, and Dion Swiggs join the District Plan Review Subcommittee. Okay. So that's all in there. So we've got a. Have we got them? I'll sort of move them on block and seconded by Andrew on block.
Can I just say join it, like there's a number of people whose names are down for the previous one who haven't been really part of it. So can we clarify what the other members too? No, the other members are the other members that are on the agenda. You can look up the agenda and all their names are there. Whether they turn up or not, you know, that's down to them. It's their obligation to turn up when they can. And but we agreed at the subcommittee meeting that that new council members hadn't been given the opportunity to join it. It was the one subcommittee that was carried over from the previous council. So now we've done that. All right? Okay. Yep.
I was just looking at the Marae Charitable Trust. I just wanted to understand what it was, because obviously being Māori heritage myself.
Yeah.
Is that something
Glenn is the existing representative on Ngāhau Whā, and they were keen for that relationship to continue.
Right.
Yep.
That's fine.
But Glenn will be talking to you.
Both state your case in Māori.
Yeah.
Well,
Anyway,
I just think it's probably.
It's in his ward, and it's it's kind of been a ward representative thing for some time.
He's got that connection.
They have requested that he stay, and we took it through the Te Honona.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Manawatu is closer than Parihaka.
All right. Yeah, it is in Glenn's ward. Yeah, Shuttle Drive's on the right-hand side, not the left-hand side. Oh, I know exactly where those boundaries are. I know them very well. They're called electoral boundaries as well. All right, so I'll